Hello and welcome to another episode of Canadian Stacker. Today I'm coming to talk to you guys. I just got back from my trip on the Kippawa. I put out some video footage and some pictures. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I also put out a community post on whether or not you guys think I should do more outdoor activity things, like showing how to, maybe start fires with flint and steel, stuff like that. I don't know if you guys are interested in that, but if you are, leave a comment in the channel and maybe I'll go out and show some survival techniques, maybe teach you a little bit about how to use a dehydrator and dehydrate foods, or etc. If that's something that we're interested in doing in the channel. If not, just let me know that as well, that you're not here for that. We got some fan mail from Terry. He's one of our regular posters on the channel. I'm gonna open this and see what's inside of it later. We're gonna talk about magnificent maples and the screaming deal that I got from Saul on it. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to talking about that, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about what's going to wind up happening with the giveaway there for 4 for the 4th, and we'll see about all that. So I don't know if anybody's aware in the channel or not, but Joe Biden basically admitted earlier in the week that he was selling state secrets, and he sold a whole bunch of them. I was watching that with him with President Modi of India, and the look on President Moody's face was Prime Minister Modi, sorry, his face was just absolutely unreal. He couldn't believe what Biden was saying. I don't even know why he's still able to get away with this stuff. Like, it's right out in the open. Everybody can see it. It's on live TV. It just doesn't make sense to me how something isn't being done about what's being said. Like, even just the allegations he makes to himself, if they're blunders, it's enough to make other countries wonder what the heck is going on. And then you've got the Hunter Biden text messages as well, like basically implicating Daddy in some kind of scheme and a business deal, a wrongdoing with a Chinese firm, and yet there's nothing going on with that either. I don't understand how Joe is still in office. And while I was gone, you had the Wagner Group basically revolt, then not revolt, and you got Putin even more on edge now. He's talking more about what he's going to do with the West. He basically told the West that he's going to, F us completely, without saying the actual words that he used, translated over into English fully. And meanwhile, here in Canada, we've got our Prime Minister Trudeau basically saying that he's going to be a guarantor of Ukraine's safety. Now, I don't know how the heck the Prime Minister of Canada plans on being the guarantor for Ukraine's safety, because it makes zero sense to me how he could offer that, seeing as, one, he's not the most powerful military in the world, two, he has no real offensive weapons of any major significance that can intimidate or scare anyone, other than the fact that he could basically say that we're going to invoke Article 5 because, we're Canada and we're awesome. And what does that actually mean? Well, it would mean, involving France, Great Britain, and all of the NATO members in a direct conflict with Russia, because Canada says that we want to stand on that hill and go there. After giving over $8 billion in aid, being one of the largest donators to Ukraine, I guess the Trudeau government doesn't want to give up all that hard scratch that he's handed over, that everybody's got to pay for in our nation. And while I was gone as well, silver seems to have stabilized and started ticking up a little bit again. So what do I think is happening there? Well, I like I was saying before, Blinken went to China. He, looked like he was going to back down a little bit, showing a pivot with the U.S.'s stance on what was going on out there. He reiterated the Taiwan, China, one China policy. And then you had literally Joey B 18 hours later saying Xi Jinping bad again, and immediately doing a complete role reversal. So, the sky is green and the grass is blue again, in clown world. So we can't make our mind up on any kind of foreign policy. And no wonder the world is just laughing at us right now, because nobody's making sense on anything. It's just a bunch of silliness, and there's nothing concrete. There's no way to look at anything and see it as any form of honesty in anything being said. So back to the magnificent maple that I brought up earlier. I've already opened it out of the packaging. It was incredibly well packaged. I bought them from Saul, and this is the magnificent maple coin right here. It's absolutely a beautiful coin. It's 10 ounces of 4/9 fine silver. Saul has one of these babies left. I saw these in many stackers videos, you know, like them showing them off. And when I was looking at them, they were like palm-sized coins, you know, when they were holding them in the hand. Like, they looked really chunky. Like, I thought they were going to be bigger around. Like, this is a nice coin. It's hefty. I like the way it looks. But when I got this coin home and I realized just truly how much bigger my hand is than the average person that's doing these YouTube videos, you know, it shocked me to realize that the coin was smaller than I anticipated. But yeah, this is it. This is the magnificent maple. What year we got here? 2021. This was available for sale on many different websites. And in Canada, the cheapest price I could find on one of these, other than Saul, was $444.50. And I also had to pay for shipping from some. Silver Gold Bull did offer free shipping at $443 something, but that was the lowest price I could find. And when I was looking at Saul's page there, this was just after the first silver drawdown price. You know, Saul had this on for $389, and you know, shipping is you know, like, very cheap. So I wound up paying all in for this just about $400. Total price all in $400. Everywhere else was $444, $443, and higher. For this particular year, because remember, the older the coin, for some reason or another, they get more of a premium cracked on them. But yeah, isn't that absolutely gorgeous how the light hits that and it just makes it glint? My son wanted to take it out of the capsule hammy. He wanted to hold it in his hand. But like, look at the high relief on that. You know, like, there is a lot of detail in this particular coin. So I definitely find it impressive. And maybe if I go down to Ottawa and see Bruce, or if Bruce comes up here, maybe we could do a video on his channel about the magnificent maple. That would be kind of cool. So another thing I wanted to talk about was, well, when the pullback happened, you had to get more, you know, more silver. So these babies here, they were going for $300 and I believe $61 all in. You know, when silver was at about $30, so $6 over spot. You know, and basically it wasn't too bad. You could get it down as low as what was it there, $34.90 on some websites, but you had to pay for the shipping. Now, I was unable to take advantage of this because I'd already bought the maples, but I did want to talk about how I was looking around, and Sunshine Mint bars and generic bars were going for around and this is all in Canadian dollars, 350 to 360 Canadian. I believe that would work out to like 285 American. For these bars, and that maple, the magnificent maple, I think would be probably around 295 or something like that. So, you know, prices with that pullback really did come down. I enjoyed the opportunity to pick up some ounces and add to my stack. Like I said, you know, always dollar cost average in on the way down, never dollar cost average in on the way up. Always wait for a pullback if you can. Don't buy the hype, you know, like, that's one of the most horrible things you can do, is buy hype. Now, we've got all of these channels talking about, you know, how the prices come down, and, you know, now is the best time to buy, and they're basically just talking out their arses, because every bullion dealer and every coin shop and all that I have been talking to has said that the silver sales have pretty much dropped off the face of the earth for them. You know, like, silver is not selling right now, so the dealers are trying to go through their, you know, YouTube buddies to try and jack up sales, because they can't justify the premiums when there's a silver stockpile that's building up in their stores. Now, I'm not saying the silver isn't going to go up in value. We all know it's going to, because of the M2 money supply and the way that things worked out over the last 3 years there. Sorry, I just needed a little drink. But you know, with the way things are going with the M2 money supply, they're shrinking it. They're trying to bring it under control. But, you know, like with 1 quadrillion of derivatives in the world, you know, there's no way that silver is going to go down too far. Now, like I said before, where do I see it going? Ultimately, I see it bottoming around 1950 American, about 25 to 26 Canadian. Do I see that happening soon? I don't know, but I do know that if it doesn't play out to the downside relatively soon, I figure October or November, when all those jobs reports come out around that time, and they start showing the labor market's getting soft, sales are becoming weak, Canadian exports are dropping off. Plus, on top of that, I think that there is a big secret that's not being talked about. Basically the food production. Right now, there has been copious amounts of smoke. Now, I don't know if you're American and you've been in the smoke cloud. If you have, leave a comment and let me know, or a Canadian or anyone who's been in the smoke cloud, because this stuff has traveled across the ocean and increased problems even a little bit in Europe. But we have had a decrease in sunlight, which has reduced the ability for plants to grow. I've noticed the stunting in some of mine on certain days when it's dark. You know, the plants don't grow as well because it's acting like a reflector for what the plants need in order to grow. There's been reports on TV about this as well. And there's been a little bit of it on the media, but it's all kind of background stuff. If you're not really looking for it, you're not really seeing it. Not to fail to mention the fact that Ontario and Quebec have been getting these long periods of like 2 weeks to 20 days at a time where there's no rain. It's incredibly dry, and then torrential downpour, and it's literally washing the small crop footprints out of the fields. Like the corn, they don't have roots, and it hasn't rained very much, and they're only like 4 or 5 inches high, and along comes a huge torrential rain, which literally uproots their root system because they haven't been able to dig down, because they're sucking up just the surface dew in the grass in the morning, not in the grass, in the dirt in the morning, in order to basically maintain themselves. So their root system hasn't driven down, so they don't have a lot of wind resistance. So corn has been being pushed down like crazy. Like I work on Grand Calumet Island, and I work around the area that I live in, and you can literally see how bad it is for some of the farmers. Like on the island where I work, I've actually watched a farmer till under his soybeans last week. He just gave up on them completely. They looked like dried out brown grass because of the drought. Like they sprouted up in the one rain we had, thus releasing the seed's value. They grew well for about 4 or 5 days. You know, after germination, they got some height, but then 10 days of direct sunlight and drought conditions basically crisped the entire field. And we're not talking a small field, you know, like we're talking a couple thousand acres worth at least. Just what I drive by had to get turned under. He has planted something else in there. I haven't had an opportunity to talk to him, but when I see him maybe later this week, I'll ask him, you know, what have you put in the field there? But you know, that's very disconcerting to actually see farmers now here in Quebec starting to drive their initial crops under the ground because they got murdered by the strength of the sun, the lack of light, all of these things that are just adding up. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was how much gold should you have in your stack. Now, as a primary silver stacker, I have a certain amount of gold that I try to maintain a ratio. I think that for me, remember, this is all just me talking about it. None of this is financial advice, but I firmly believe that between let's say 85 and 95 ounces of silver for every physical ounce of gold that you hold, in your portfolio, is very important. So this guy here is a 10th ounce, basically specialty coin from Toronto Dominion Bank. It was, I believe it was the year of the dragon, this one here, but it's a 10th ounce. So if you bought one of these, you'd want to get, like I have, one of these to kind of back it up if you can afford it. I would recommend you saving up for quarter ounces or half ounces if you can, because there's a better premium when you buy quarter or halves over buying tenths, because tenths are like a premium coin. But the reason why I like to buy tenths occasionally is because this is a very compact amount of barterability in a small space. Like this currently is equal to this, like in value. It's like 90-ish to 1 on paper, but if you actually went with premium, this here is about 330, 340, and like I said, this is about 380 right now. So very comparable. And like I said, for every tenth of gold or 1 ounce of gold, you should have either 10 or, 8.5 to 9.5 ounces of silver for every tenth, or like 85 to 95 for every 100. And that's if your stack, I would say, is under 500 ounces. So if you have less than 500 ounces of silver stock, try to go with a 9-to-1. If you can manage to do it. I know it's hard to do, but that's what I would think would be good. Now, once you get above the 500 ounce silver level, once you get above the $25,000 to $40,000 mark, at least in silver, maybe you should consider upping your gold concentration to 70-to-1, because honestly, silver's got very good upside, but gold has more protection power, and you want to protect your wealth a little bit more. You want the play of the silver, but you want the protection of the gold. And if you're over 25,000 USD, 33,000 Canadian, or like somewhere in that ballpark, once you start getting up there, you want to go under 8-to-1. This is, once again, not financial advice, but this is what I would suggest. And if you get above that 100,000 threshold, I'm thinking more like 55-45 gold and silver. 55% silver, 45% gold. So for every $1,000 you want in silver, you want like 900 in gold. So that's just food for thought. So now that we're getting closer to the end of the video here, I've been rambling on for almost 17 minutes. I would like to open Terry's letter here. So I'm just going to take my handy dandy knife out, and I'm going to open this, hopefully without cutting myself. I'm going to cut it open carefully, because maybe Terry sent me a letter to read or something, and I don't want to cut that up. But there, I think I got that open. All right. All right. Let's see what we got in here. What did Terry send? Now, this stuff that Terry sent is for 4 for the 4th, for the giveaway. He said that he wanted me to include this in 4 for the 4th. Oh. Well, let's see here. What do we got? Man, Terry, you taped this in there pretty good. There's the one, and what's this guy? It's heritage silver, I believe, of some kind. What do we got? Wow, that is on there. I'm probably going to have to fight to... There we go. I got it off. Perfect. So, oh wow, that's great. That's great. So what do we got here? We got a... let me just get the date here before I start talking about it. 1964 Canadian silver dollar. Terry told me to basically give this away on 4 for the 4th, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. So if you want to get entered into 4 for the 4th, you need to be subscribed to the channel. You need to comment in videos, and if you'd be kind enough, you could maybe share it around. That would be great as well. So Terry's given this to me to give away for 4 for the 4th. So this is a 64 Canadian silver dollar. It's 0.6 ounces of silver right there. I'll just put that down here. I can't quite reach the turtle. Yeah, these are my wife's plushies again. She does an amazing job crocheting. These are all available for sale. If you're interested, leave a comment, and I will get back to you with either my email address or something so we can chat, because YouTube doesn't like us talking financially in the channel. But I could always, you could always hit me up at my email, which is provided in the description section. All right, so what's this other one that he has graciously given us? Oh, wow, it's a beautiful 2023 Britannia. The last year of Queen Victoria is going to be on Britain's coins. So Terry has given us also a 1 ounce silver Britannia to give away. It's listed as £2 British. These are amazing coins. I have stacked a tube and a half of these. The reason why is at the time, Sol was offering them for like a really, really good deal. I was able to pick these up probably almost as cheap as generic silver. The price has gone up a little bit on them now. They're a little bit more hefty on the premium. But these were trading and selling around the same price as the Philharmonics coin. You know, they were a really good deal. This is very recognizable, this coin. I believe that these in the US are directly sellable, and there's no wait period like generic rounds have a wait period to get your cash. These babies are bullion that's minted in a government mint. So I believe in the U.S. these are immediately sellable at a coin shop, and they'll give you your money immediately. And once again, here in Canada, they're highly recognizable, also incredibly recognizable around the world. The most recognizable coin, obviously, being, I believe, the American Eagle would be number one. If I had to pick the number two coin for you know, basically it's knowledge of it around the world, I would say would be the Canadian Maple after that. Quickly followed up by this British, beautiful British coin right here. You know, like, there's nothing to knock at with these. These are a definite go-to coin. You know, after that, I like Philharmonics. I like Kookaburras. You know, and I do love Libertads. And this is the sad part about that. Libertads, I don't have a single one. I have been having a real hard time finding them for a price that I can justify. Everybody seems to have them marked up with like double premium price, you know, like $70, $80 Canadian for a Libertad. I've been speaking to a couple of friends that work at Esprit there, and they said that they're going to contact the relatives down there and see if they can get it for me at whatever the mint price is down there, which would be pretty cool to be able to get a couple of Libertads. I've always wanted a colorized one and a non-colorized one, so you know, the colorized one would obviously be like a you know, like a chocolate bar, you know, in your stack. It's not something that necessarily you would have in your stack, you know, for practical reasons, because honestly, who wants to pay $75 to $80 an ounce for a Libertad, or $150 for a colored Libertad, you know, when you can get 2 or 3 or 4 even in some cases, regular, you know, Britannias, or, you know, you could go out and pick yourself up other generics for an even better price. But that's all I've got for today. You know, if you've enjoyed the content, please leave a like. 95% of the people who watch my channel are not subscribed. And, you know, if you do enjoy the content, and I know that you're watching because my statistics let me know that, if you were to click the subscribe button, you would be able to be entered in 4 for the 4th, which is going to be on July 4th, at between 8:30 and 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to be able to get into that, you got to be subscribed. We're going to be giving away some really cool prizes, like this silver dollar and this British Britannia right here. These are going to be in the 4 for the 4th giveaway. So if you want to, you know, basically partake in that, you've got to be available to be in the chat to, you know, put in your number for your roll. You know, 2, you've got to be subscribed. You know, and 3, I have to have noticed your comment in at least a previous video before the GOG giveaway. So, like, let's say today you were to leave a comment on this video and say, hey, Canadian Stacker, I was at I was here today. I love your content, or I didn't like what you said. I don't really care what the comment is. As long as you leave a comment in there, you know, even the number 1's good enough. You know, as long as I've seen your name at least, and I've got a pretty good memory for that, you will be able to partake in the draw on, you know, on the 4th. So once again, until next time, I hope you've enjoyed this, you know, and keep your thumb to the sky, stay awesome, and keep stacking.